And no one wants to say anything because, like, Miss Newbern wants us to be quiet. Very awkward. But no, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the thing. I think lower school has a separate one, and ours is at the normal time, but it could be the reverse. It could be that we have it at the end of the day. I think it's the beginning, we'll just go down. And then after, okay, that's cool. But yeah, this is the last real day. Okay. So, guys, this will be the last time for a quarter of a whole year that I'll have anybody read Latin. Katie, can you please read number 3 in Latin, please? Can you read number 3 in Latin, please?
Quis. I don't know how to pronounce that. Servitude aspera liberari.
Servitude aspera liberari. Good. What is that quiz going to be, anyone? Who? Probably who, yeah. So quid would be like who at least initially guess what. But quiz, you should be thinking of a person. So it's really like anyway, it's an interrogative pronoun. We're asking like an open-ended question. We're not asking about something. How do I know that? If we're asking about something, that something would probably be like right next to quiz, and it would be the same case as quiz. And that'd be like, which blah, blah, blah is blah, 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 blah. But here I think we're just saying who, and then do y'all remember what, well, so it's glossed here. So this Luke is something like, did I ever make a stance on 1.5 kids having a cheat sheet? So all I would want on that cheat sheet, this is it, are these words, like their dictionary entry, and that's all. Meaning I don't even want you to like write, like aspare is ablative here, but you should just write aspare, asparagus, or whatever. Guys, this is like the last time I'm teaching you for the school year, period, right? We're not doing no kind of learning tomorrow. We'll do Jeopardy, and I'll probably not even try to teach the answers to questions. Yeah, I don't care. Just don't be crazy, but like, yeah, sure. But like, so Keaton, do me a solid, man. Do not talk over me today, please, honestly. At least for me going over these 5 sentences. And then we're like, don't laugh. Keep in mind, guys, reminder, this is for the video people too. Everyone in here who was always in here, I want 4th and 5th declension. Here's the 5th, speak of the devil. And if you do 3rd, I guess that's bonus, but that's like an easy bonus, so get that bonus. And then for the transfers, the transplants, you're doing 3, 4, and 5 are optional bonuses. And they're in the textbook if you're wondering. It's like chapter 20 for 4, chapter 22 for 5. And what else? Please study your noun chart. Please study the passive and perfect verb endings. The prepositions, that's just like straight up vocabulary you need to know. And that prepositions are not allowed to go on the cheat sheet for transplant. Transplants, y'all can have a little cheat sheet. I don't really care what the size is because it's just super limited. It would just be you writing quiz dash me too. Eubeo, euc means to command. That's it, okay? I don't want you to do that for the prepositions because then it's like, why would I even make you do the preposition part? You should just like be able to learn the prepositions. So there's like, what, 15 of them? And hopefully I'll know what part of the test I'm talking about. It's like a bunch of fill in the blanks in a row. And yeah, Elsa. And that's it. Like no charts, no endings. Don't do the verb endings. Don't do the 3rd declension, obviously. Yeah, sorry.
You should talk to Miss Wilson and like ask her if the dress code can go away for the last week because like it's final week. We should be able to like wear sweatpants so we're not so we're like comfortable while doing our test. Yeah, I think just sweatshirts. Like,
it does seem like I would just like stop being a thing or something. At least on Thursday. Just like what's gonna happen on Thursday? They're gonna like suspend you for August. Okay, so.
Okay, I was gonna say, we don't even have like a real final on Thursday. We have our 5th period final, which is our art final.
Oh, yeah.
So like we're watching a movie. Yeah. And then it's just one test that day. And then we have the rest of the day off.
No.
Right. Well, Thursday's weird for a lot of people. You're saying that's Thursday or yeah, everyone has one test on Thursday. I'm not sure what the idea is. I think you need 2 hours to go through your locker and bring like all your books to your teachers. Which, by the way, reminder, guys, you own the Latin book. If you know you're not coming back to LTA next year, which would be sad, you could donate it if you want, but you really don't need to. If there's even a chance your next school has Latin, you should hold on to it. But you own it, so y'all don't have to give me anything. What else? Yeah, I don't know what Thursday's about. It should have been like release at 10 probably, or like come in whatever clothes you want. Let's have like a crazy party.
I'm gonna completely break the dress code. I'm gonna do everything wrong on Thursday.
Well, do little things wrong, you know. I don't think they're gonna mess with you on Thursday. I don't Monday, Wednesday. Oh, so tomorrow's supposed to be crazy sock day for what that's worth.
I've been wearing crazy socks for the past like 3 weeks. I know, like I literally don't.
Socks are a thing where it's like, yeah, it's like anyway. What's there?
Oh,
I have 5 options, right? So I'm gonna pick 3. But you should be okay because you're gonna write the vocab for all 5. Good question. No, that's the whole point, right? It would be like a little too easy mode if I was like, it's these 3. Like, why would I give you 5? Yeah, baby. Anyway, let's like finally get into this. Since I told Keaton to not talk through this, I better keep it succinct. So who, and then eusits is gloss there. So what would that be? Yeah, just commanded. And it's perfect tense. Cora probably noticed just like right down here, it's coming from the third principal part, not the first 2. That would be like EU bets. Sounds weird. EU said the commanded. You say has commanded if you want. You don't have to. So who commanded that republic? Yeah, don't think of Republicom as 2 different things. It's just republic. Literally, I guess it's like public thing. That looks weird. So who commanded that republic? That, not this, not hick. Actually, it'd be honk. Who commanded that republic? And then let's come back to Sarah to Aspera, which I've already said is outlet of separation, and talk about liberari, because that seems to be the verb inside of this, what we call an indirect command. Who commanded that republic to what? To free. It'd be free if it was liberara with an E at the end. With the long I, it's a passive infinitive. To be freed, exactly. To be freed, and then what do we do with harsh slavery? To be freed, comma, harsh slavery. From, because it's an ablative of tiny, tiny font, separation, okay? So if I pick this one, I might ask about this ablative separation. And I would give you like a little multiple choice. I'd be like, is this an ablative ablative separation, or ablative time when or something? Definitely not time when. A harsh slavery is not a period of time necessarily. It's not ablative means. That would be like with or by harsh slavery. We're adding the from ourselves just because the verb like beckons us to do so. When you have a verb like to free, yeah. Are people like Adrian? I did this yesterday. I'll try it again. But are y'all good? Why are you not writing it down? Are y'all good? Seems like you'd want to get this, right? I'm giving away answers. I'm giving away free points. This is the last of it too. Okay. If you blew off the sentences completely, that would be something like about 10 points in a 60-point test. So like I guess you're not dead in the water at that point, but you're at a big disadvantage. You're like already in below B, and then if you're losing on top of that, you're pushing into C. So definitely try your best on the sentences. Right. You do? Oh, right. Okay, so Lucy says you'd have a B- on a 60-point test if you blow off the sentence part. Okay. So I'll say this one more time, and we'll move right along again. But I think noun chart and the verb endings, perfect and passive verb endings, are like the 3 things you really need to study. Then the prepositions, and then the prepositions and sentences I think are the second most important thing. And then the multiple, and then fill in the blank is like kind of hard. Actually, some of the fill in the blanks are a little weird, but hopefully you kind of understand the logic behind them. And you actually understand them, and it's not just like random words to you. And then the easiest thing is the actual multiple choice and the numbers. The numbers should be a walk in the park. But yeah, so that it's confusing. Like, as I talk about, I'm like, there's so many parts of the test. But some of them are easy, some of them are harder, some of them take a lot of studying, some of them don't. Sarah? Just for this guy. So I'll tell you, it'll be one.
Like for the third function, like a function.
Oh. Yeah. And you don't have to get so the only prepositions, you should know the functions though. If it's your second year, yeah. But the prepositions, all I care about is of for genitive, to for dative, and try to do, if you can just say with for ablative, you're fine, okay? Accusative doesn't get one, nominative doesn't get one. Of for gen, to for dat, with for ab. I like with and by, / etc., but you can just say with. Give it a shot. And there's a chance I might grade like all the transplants last or something, so I can see if there's a trend. If like, oh, they all did that on this part, I might like curve that part or something, or like exempt that part. But yeah, third declench, yeah. That first page is kind of challenging, but it's just like memorization.
What day do we have it on?
So it should be the second one on Wednesday, as far as I can tell. Cora?
Do you have any note cards?
I don't. I must, right? There used to be this like some student left like this really nice jacket that oh, there's these pig weird. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, can we use those as our like resource cards?
Well, Cora people like real 2.5 people aren't supposed to.
I think like I'm struggling with
For
like.
Should I open that up to everyone, the vocab for the sentences?
Yes.
Okay, whatever. So, but how about I come around and I see who's using it, and maybe people who don't use it start off with a bonus point. It'll just be one, but it's incentive to just like work off of your memory. But yeah, okay. And again, so repeat that. I'm repeating a lot of stuff that I heard. It's just vocab from these. I'm not even walking around like a meanie and like look at it to make sure you don't do the prepositions and you don't do any of the noun or verb charts, because that defeats the purpose of that part of the test. Sarah? I don't think there's. How about we wait until tomorrow? There's some. I think it's like the roast ones. It's just like for your list. But maybe tomorrow. They're gonna bust it out. And y'all should bring someone. Ooh. I want you to drink. And Sarah, you have access to it. And y'all should bring like ice tea. So, but let's wait. Let's play tomorrow.
We're having a party tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah. Should it be weird to like go all out today? We are like one per day. So there's like. Yeah. There's like 5 kilos of Dorito, and there's all of this. So yeah, let's party tomorrow. Because honestly, that's not me like picking favorites, but y'all are the most partiable class. I would not want to party with 7th graders, and 8B is a little too long. So party with y'all, and if there's leftovers, I'll party with 9A. But don't spread the word, and let's be really chill. Wait, what'd you say?
I'll bring cupcakes.
Right, and then some.
Icing, not that weird whipped ice cream that they use.
Oh yeah, that's like
Either way, fudge is great. Who's gonna bring Capri Sun?
I thought Kool-Aid.
Cool. Adrian's gonna bring.
Yeah.
Cool.
I could make lunches. Yeah.
It's coming together, guys. Blondies, cupcakes, Capri. Huh?
I could bring spam.
Well, like bring them because I want to know what that is.
So it's spam, rice, wrapped in seaweed.
That actually sounds interesting. I'm not like a big spam guy, but that actually sounds kind of eclectic and interesting.
And the spam's cooked. The spam is cooked like and not cooked, marinated in teriyaki sauce for like a couple hours.
That actually sounds awesome, actually. Yeah. Hello separation. I don't know why it's so tiny. Hello separation. Let's move right along. Guys, we'll party, but just promise me that you'll play Jeopardy while we're doing it. So it just so like we'll do it, but like really we're focusing on. Yeah. Yeah, y'all want a secret competition of me saying like really rude things a couple of days, and I feel bad about it.
it's the swing for me, because you're the only teacher that would take it all to heart, and all the other teachers are so mean.
I missed the first part. What'd you say?
It's the this for me.
No,
It's
like
the,
so like you like go up to someone. It's like it's your glasses for me. You're like bad insulting. It's like an insult battle.
But you're not supposed to take it to heart.
No, those are depressing.
Yeah, guys, let's be nice. We're all friends here. We're all one big family. Okay, that's the way it works. All right. But you're talking about like a roast battle, like a.
Yeah.
I guess it can be funny, but it's weird. Well, you watch those like professional roasters, like.
Adrian would win. Adrian is like.
He's the roast king. You should have been at the Justin Bieber roast, but those are where they toe a line between like very funny and it's like, does this person feel okay with these personal attacks? Anyway, algorithm separation will be the only thing I ask here. Who can translate Tirano Superato? Oh, so I'll get to number 2. Sorry, I didn't quite. Yeah, so I'll get to number 2.
The tyrant
having been overcome. Good. And let's start it with actually. This is a ablative.
Ablative,
absolute, the really cool one. So it's like with the tyrant having been overcome, or even just with the tyrant overcome. Having been does kind of sound good. Dang, I still don't get it. What's up, Caden? Like, why? There's no way you understand. Okay.
I understand everything.
Okay. I want to see how that works out. Honestly, I'm like eager to see. All right, so with the tyrant having been overcome, citizens and even Servi. Masculine. Servants. Yeah. Service or serva can be mask or fem. This is mask. So anyway, citizens and even servants, right? Akwe is just like and even or and also, whichever one you want. It's a deluxe X basically. Servants come back to liberty and yeah, I remember this. They were recaparanted, received freedom and I think like rights. Okay. ES is kind of weird. Like Lex can be law. ES can also be law, but it's I think rights here is better, as in like, you know, civic rights, civil rights. Yeah, civil rights, civic. Yeah, I'll come back. I'll go back. That's just kind of out of order. Sorry for the low visibility here with the glare and the purple and the black. It's great. But yeah, you don't quite need the having been. You can leave it out if you want. Citizens and even servants receive liberty and rights. What would I ask about here? I would underline Tirano Superato, and I probably wouldn't maybe have multiple choices, but I might just be like, what is this? And you would say ablative absolute.
Oh, you should make everything multiple choice like for our sentences. Just put them like
that's what our math test is going to be.
Oh, Chartier loves that because he has like he can like take pictures with his phone of multiple choice. Yeah, he has a Scantron or whatever. He doesn't have to grade those. It's amazing. I'm jealous.
Maybe that's what you should do with a lot and like have like the different like translations like the stuff. But like make it like tweak them to be like there's only one that's right, but they're like close in like general.
You could make a translation multiple choice, but I don't know. That kind of takes.
No, it would be so
hard. It would be hard. Oh, like making it would be hard.
Well, like that, like instead of
right, I would change like little things between all of them. I could do it, but that kind of like makes translation. Translation is like the thing you really want to be doing when you're learning Latin. So for me to like make that kind of like baby mode, it's gonna be kind of sad for me.
No, because I made it all of this is a whole test. Okay, you're gonna give us a whole test. Boom.
Okay, so I'll make it a little bit. I'll say it says ablative absolute, passive paraphrastic, blah 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 blah, and you'll say ablative absolute. Okay, so I'll multiple choice the individual questions, but the translations, guys, that's amazing. You guys translating is like college level stuff. Like kids in college can't do this stuff. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, you're so smart.
Yeah, you are. So I hope.
I'm so smarter than
Who? Evans? That's cool. That's cool. No, people do skew pretty mature here. That's cool. Some schools it's just like it's like everybody is and then insert name of student is bad here. I don't know. Nobody in this class would be that. So Odi servitutem, what is that? It's actually I. Odi is a weird verb. I hate. Odi is it's like defective. It always looks weird, but it's like perfect. So it's I hate. Yeah, right. Slavery, quai. Which do we come back to men? No, I think men's a subject. I don't think he's supposed to be read. Sorry. Which no. Yeah. Yes, which prohibit men from the sweet fruits of liberty. Okay, so the subject of this relative clause is just quai. So it's I hate servitude. So quai's antecedent is servitude. Like the main clause is just I hate slavery. And then it's like, okay, tell me more. Slavery which, that's the subject of the relative clause, prohibits men direct object from sweet fruits, sweet profits. It's fruit figurative here. It's not literal fruit. But unlike the ablative absolute in the first one, this one is like clearer because we have awe there. Like it's there in the sentence. And so it's just from, it's not by. We don't have a passive verb here. So anyway, I maybe wouldn't ask about this ablative separation because I feel like it's like easier. Like the from is actually there. You're not having to pull the from out of thin air and common sense. And knowledge.
Should there be a in between from and sweet?
Yeah, probably. That makes it sound a little better. The sweet fruits. Profit is wrong here too as well. But you can sometimes translate fructibus as like profit. Like it really is figurative fruits and not literal ones. Maybe the glare is real today. Maybe the next one's not dark mode. So I don't think I'll ask about anything here. I don't think. Yeah, I won't. I will not. Two more. Am I good? Cool.
Or you could just pick these three and then you don't have to do the other two in bracket.
I'll give y'all at least one hint. By the time I'll do the fifth one again, I'll give y'all a hint about one that I'm not going to do. And that should be like enough to go. What's there? Yeah, but that's not really, all that means is that you're writing a question. Let's look at it real quick. This is fine. That just means you're writing an A in the nominative and accusative profiles. That's all that means. Because masculine and feminine third declension, they're the same. All the orange endings, those go for all masculine and third declension. And neuter, basically the same too. It's just different because I want you to do an A here and an A there, literal subject, literal direct object, and that's a whole third declension. So it doesn't really change much.
Wait.
Okay. So remember, transplants are responsible for orange. And classic 2.5 kids are doing black and green, and orange that they want. So I figure all of you are going to get a bonus point. And a lot of you will probably get a second bonus point because you're not going to use a cheat sheet. That's a real thing I'll do. Okay, it's not punishing people for using the cheat sheet, but it's rewarding people for resisting the temptation. Because I know y'all can learn these words. I mean, y'all know most of the words and sentences already, so it'd probably be like a few here and there. This one looks hard. What the? Okay. Well, that's what it's feeling like. But let's see. So, skio bina, what would that be? Skio, what's the subject? Anyone? It's a verb here. So we have skientia, but skio skira is to no, yeah. So it's who knows well. But initially it's just I know well that, and I've already underlined an indirect statement. This is weird here. We're not going to say I know well that me, blah, blah, blah. I know well that, Not my either. Yeah, just I actually, yeah. So it needs to be accusative as the subject of an indirect statement, but you will treat it like it's nominative. It's kind of weird. So I know well that I, nescire multa. This is supposed to be one of those like pithy little witty things. Huh? Yeah. But what is nescire? It's the opposite of skio. So skio is to know, nescire. Yeah. I know well that I do not know much, right? Nemo, NM. And so if I did pick this one, I would ignore these two words. Ut eins is just like, as they say, which like, forget that. We can delete that. But Nemo, no one in NM. It's just like a nothing adverb or conjunction. I think conjunction. It's like, in fact. No one, in fact, potest scira omnia. So the person's making themselves feel better. They're like, I don't know anything, but no one, in fact, potest?
No. Is able to know.
Yeah, is able or can know all or everything. That's fine, either way. So let me click through. Ignore, as they say. That's just going to confuse people, and it doesn't add anything to the sentence. So I don't dislike this one, but you wouldn't want to trip up on that may thing. It's like if you, the word you is the subject of an indirect statement, you would see te, but you would, I guess you wouldn't translate it. You is always you in English. We don't decline you. But we do decline I. We turn I into my into me. We turn we into us. So we decline pronouns. But we don't decline you for some reason. Yeah, just totally. Y'all can scratch it out on your end and don't write as they say in the translation. Hear that, internet kids? Okay, Carly. Yes, and then no questions about this one. That's something that jumps out to me. I could be like, is this an indirect statement or not? And he's like, it is. So we don't have to do that. Why bother? I'm excited about the party tomorrow. Just gotta make it the third period tomorrow. Okay, the last one, finally. Quidam is this horrible word. It means like someone or anyone. Mm-hmm. Weird. I wonder if that happened. But the rest is the same? So let's change it just on my end. So there might be two that are favored for not being, but I'm not really making any statement there. It said dixer runt. Okay. So quidam is an annoying word. Someone, basically. So someone, dixerunt, is one more indirect statement. I guess this was the last thing we did. Dikera? Yeah, or just said or spoke. Someone said that, I'm doing the that just because it helps my mind orient to enter a statement here, that hunc octorum is accusative, but ignore that it's accusative. It's just because it's the subject of the statement. So what's hunc octorum? You can just hic or hoc octor. This listener, yeah. So we have auditor as listener, octor as author. But yeah, you can have like those like that. So this author, okay, let's pretend it's J.K. Rowling they're talking about. Essa, it's an infinitive, but treat it like it is conjugated. Just is. Or, okay, because this verb is perfect, we're supposed to kind of say like was, actually. Was, and this was the next thing y'all were going to do. I think that's why I put the sentence here, because I'm like, this is a spoiler for chapter 26. In 26, you finally learn how to make adjectives level up. There's a second and third level of every adjective out there. The first level is positive, like good or whatever. And then they have a comparative level, which would be like better. And usually it's just like adding ER to the end of the same word. But in English, like the word good becomes better. Anyway, and then best is the superlative. But anyway, this guy is comparative. So is not just bright or famous, is brighter or more famous. Yeah, that's where we're going to start with in August. Than illo. Than what would illo be by itself? Yeah, or like that one. Okay, so that's something you'll get in chapter 25 called an ablative of comparison, or just the fact that illo is in ablative next to a comparative adjective. Than is going to kind of appear. So I'm going to fix denied real quick. But I don't just like this one. And I think this one's shorter. This one's better than the first one we did, right? Kind of. Huh? I don't think I'm gonna like suddenly eventually answer that just because someone asked me for like the 7th time. I don't know. I already kind of made that clear, didn't I?
No, you didn't actually.
If people were listening, I think you kind of get the sense of, you probably know at least, like, you know, out of 2 of them, there's like 2 that is clear. Like, I'm probably not going to put both of these 2 that anyway. Teaching's weird. It's like you're like a video game designer in a boring way, where you're like trying to like set difficulty levels, and then you have kids like rejecting the difficulty level you're trying to set, and you're like, oh, I don't know, I can make it easier, but then it becomes boring. Like eventually when you turn on the difficulty too much, some kids are like, okay, this class just kind of got like boring. Some kids are like, I think I was boring a lot of kids at the beginning of the year because we were kind of like going back, and anyway, what?
Would you mind going to your third difficulty chart?
Yeah. Well, hope I can find one. I don't always carry over my like really good. I'm gonna organize all my like noun and verb charts that are like done really well into one PowerPoint so I can just grab them, because sometimes I don't always make it over to like the new PowerPoint. But here's a verb ending one for each chapter. It should, this year I started to hit some organization where it's mostly just 2 or 3 chapters per PowerPoint, but it should just be a PowerPoint for each chapter. I'm getting there. And also, I have PowerPoints in my whole textbook, like as of basically last week, and it's like the most exciting thing in the world. And I don't have to teach 1.5 next year, but these are the 2 innings y'all need to know. I don't have to teach a first year lab class next year, y'all. Unless Miss Pack like dies between now and August. What? I don't know. And I'm not trying to joke, but I'm just saying like that would be the only thing, because she already like accepted the offer. But I'm just saying the only thing that could happen is that she changes her mind or like something really bad happens. No, I'm gonna teach y'all for better or for worse. She teaches the young kids.
You should be glad
Yeah. For third? Didn't I just explain this? What's up, Callie? Someone's gonna have to help Callie with these sentences, I guess. You'll be fine though. Sarah, I already explained that. Let me find, which one would I have? I said masculine and feminine ones are the same, and neuter ones are mostly the same except for nominative, plural, and accusative plural. You need to put an A next to the ES. Well, you're not doing no pronouns. If I was a horrible, a mean teacher, I would make all these pronouns. Don't worry about none of those. Those are going to be up when you take your test. You just need to give me the orange ending here, Sarah. Yes, just the orange rose. Well, okay. with the exception of this. See how? But look, these two purple A's are underlined in orange. Okay, so you need to do those two. So in these two spots, plural subject, plural direct object, do ES/A, and then you're hitting all three genders. Because masculine and feminine are exactly the same, and neuter is just sorted in. Don't worry, y'all. I hate the boxes. Please don't give me the box. Okay, I'll take off points.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions? I'm sorry I joked about Miss Pack. I'm sorry.